Good evening and welcome everyone. The Muscatine City Council will come to order. We'll begin this evening with a roll call. Fran?
Councilmembers Lorette.
Present.
Fitzgerald.
Present.
Natfig.
Present.
Shahade.
Present.
Bynum.
Present.
Phillips. Present. Spread.
Present.
All present, Your Honor.
Very good. Thank you, Fran. Folks, would you rise and join me in reciting our Pledge of Allegiance?
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, again, welcome. And item number 4 on our agenda tonight is communications from our citizens. And if you would like to discuss something with council that is not included on tonight's agenda, now would be the time to come to the podium. Give us your name and address. Even if we all know who you are.
Some may, some might not. I'm Teresa Chavarria, 1790 215th Street, but I also teach at West Middle School. I teach 7th grade math for the G Squared project-based learning program, and my students are just finishing a project called Does a Railroad Separate a Town? And so they looked at the map of Muscatine, and they looked at it through the eyes of math to see if life was fair on both sides of the railroad tracks. And so each student had a chance to write a proposal to the city for an improvement that they would like to see enacted. So we have a notebook for you that has all of the proposals, and tonight we have 5 of the students that are just going to take a minute to prepare or to share with you their proposal.
Great.
My name is Amy Justice, and I teach English at West Middle School. My address is 1880 Highway 38. I am the English language arts teacher, so I taught the children novels and short stories about utopias versus dystopias, so they looked at what would make a good community. And then I had them correlate with Mrs. Chavarria and look at the improvements for our city. So they actually wrote the proposals in my room, and I'd like to... We have 83 students in our program, and we voted on the top 5. So those are the students that are here tonight, and we also brought everyone else's to present to you as well. So we'll start with Hunter.
Are all 83 students at West Middle School?
Yeah, they all wrote proposals, yes, but we ended up voting on the top 5 that they thought were the best. So Hunter's one of our top 5.
Okay. Hunter, are you nervous?
Yes, very.
Me too.
Okay, my name is Hunter Stoll, and I am here to propose that our city have an improvement with a new skate park. I believe this improvement should be located at Evers Myers Park. The problem not having a skate park in the north part of town is that a lot of kids can't get to Oregon Street. The solution of a skate park is that it will possibly get new people to come to our city of Muscatine. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Hunter. Good job.
Hi, my name is Jay-Z, and I am here to propose that our city have an improvement with a crosswalk and be located at Musser Park on Oregon Street. I think the problem without the crosswalk is that Oregon Street is way too busy for people and kids to cross. I think this idea will benefit the community by providing a safe crosswalk. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Very good.
Hi, my name is Gage Faust. I propose for 2 storm shelters on both sides of the tracks. The reason I propose this is because some houses don't have basements. I propose that we put these at Longview Park and Musser Park to ensure the safety of the community. I did some research on the cost of purchasing storm shelters, which the information is in the notebook that my teacher has. Thank you for your time.
Very good. Thank you.
My name is Kyle Kilburn. I propose that our city have an improvement of an ice skating rink. I think it should be located at Weed Park. The problem is that Muscatine needs an ice skating rink so people won't have to leave Muscatine to ice skate. I believe that building an ice rink would bring more people into our community and help our economy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Courtney Kuhlenbeck. I propose that our city make an improvement to all the parks. The problem is that there aren't enough swings in Muscatine parks. I propose that we increase the swings at parks. This encourages more people to go to parks for exercise and entertainment. Thank you for your time.
More swings, huh?
Yeah.
Very good.
So that concludes our proposals. We'll present this so I can give that to them, and thank you for your time, and hopefully you consider some of our students' ideas and proposals.
And thank you for encouraging the students to be here. I think we should all give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our city leaders of tomorrow, so great job, students, and come back to council meeting anytime you'd like, okay? Okay, anyone else in council chambers that wish to address council? Okay, we'll move on to item 5, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes items 6A through B, items 8A through E, items 9A, filing of communications, which is 12A through G, and tonight's bills totaling $1,501,734.49.
So move, Your Honor.
That would be Bob.
Second.
Second, Mark. Is that you? Okay. All those in favor, any discussion, council? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign? Motion carries 7-0. Okay, dropping down to item 7, public hearing. Proposed amendment number 2 to the city budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2013. This public hearing concerns the proposed amendment number 2 to the city budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2013. This proposed amendment will increase total budgeted expenditures for the city by $370,700, with budgeted transfers to increase by $5,000 for a total expenditure change of $375,700. City budgeted revenues are proposed to be amended by $172,800, which includes $5,000 of funding transfers in. Amendments will be made to the General Fund, Enterprise Fund, and Special Revenue Fund. Prior to formal action by City Council, a public hearing is required. Now is the time for the public to comment.
Move to close.
Motion to close, Osama, second? Second, Scott. Any discussion at all, council? Okay. Voice vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Down to item 11 from the city administrator. Presented for city council's consideration is the second reading of an ordinance rezoning property at 3205 Cedar Street, which is Muscatine Power and Water. MPNW has submitted a request to rezone a 42-acre parcel located at their facility from R3 single-family residential to C3 planned commercial. The purpose of the request is to bring the zoning of this parcel in line with its current use. Is there a motion to approve the second reading of the ordinance as submitted?
So moved.
I heard Tom over there.
Second.
Jeanette for the second. Any discussion, council? This is a roll call vote, beginning with Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
And Mark.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item B. Presented for City Council's consideration is the final reading of an ordinance designated an area of Muscatine as the 2013 Muscatine Housing Urban Revitalization Area. Following a presentation to City Council in September 2012, staff was authorized to begin developing a program to address and stimulate new and expanding residential development in designated areas, promote infill opportunities, and encourage historic preservation. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance as submitted and direct for its publication as required by law?
So moved.
Ooh, I think I heard Phil, and I think I heard Jeanette.
Second.
For the second, okay. Any discussion, council?
Hang in there, Jeanette.
Also a roll call vote, beginning with Phil.
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
And Scott?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item C, presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving an urban revitalization plan for the 2013 Muscatine Housing Urban Revitalization Area. In its previous action, City Council adopted an ordinance approving the revitalization area. It is staff's recommendation that City Council take action to approve the Housing Urban Revitalization Plan for the designated revitalization area. Boy, those are some tongue twisters there tonight. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
That would be Mark.
Second.
Second, Tom. Any discussion, council?
I have offer up an amendment, and it could be a friendly amendment if the chair so desires. But part of this plan says that for new housing, the threshold for the plan kicking in, so to speak, is $200,000. So the house has to be at least of $200,000 value before you can get access to the $75,000 maximum benefit. I would like to change that 200,000 to 175,000, making it just a little less. Therefore, a few more houses might be acceptable as part of the plan. So that would be my amendment, just to change the dollar amount.
And I believe that's in the form of a motion. Motion?
Yes.
Any seconds?
I'd second that.
Motion Phil, second Jeanette. Any discussion, council?
I would ask the question, where did we come up with the 200,000 based on what?
Steve?
By comparing some of the most recent building permit data, the 200,000 is
75
pretty
versus
comparable. Having said that, it is a number, to be perfectly frank. If you want to move it one way or another, you certainly may. The benefit will only be the $75,000, however, but you could lower the threshold if you're inclined to do so.
Thanks, Steve.
Anyone else, council?
I do have a procedural question. If we amend this, do we have to do the readings of the ordinance over again?
I don't believe so.
That's correct. I don't think so.
We don't.
No. Can be amended at any time during any one of the readings and still maintain the same number of readings.
Anyone else, council? Okay, we'll vote on the amendment here. And I believe that's a roll call vote. Correct, Fran? Mm-hmm. Beginning with Phil.
Aye.
And let's see, which direction am I going? Mark?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
And Scott?
Aye.
Okay, the amendment motion carries 7-0. Now back to the roll call vote. Would you like me to read the resolution again?
No?
Okay. The motion was made by Mark, seconded by Tom. Any discussion at all beyond what we've already done? Also a roll call vote. So, beginning with Mark,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Jeanette,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Osama,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
and Phil.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Okay, item D, presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving amendment number 2 to the 2012-2013 city budget. This proposed amendment will increase total budgeted expenditures for the city by $370,700, with budgeted transfers to increase by $5,000 for a total expenditure change of $375,700. City budgeted revenues are proposed to be amended by $172,800, which includes $5,000 of funding transfers in. Amendments will be made to the General Fund, Enterprise Fund, and Special Revenue Fund. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Scott, and a second?
Second.
Second, Mark. Any discussion, council?
Where would that put our general fund at?
Where did that put our general fund at?
I'm sorry.
If we just go by the amendment, it would decrease the general fund balance by about $81,600. However, we don't believe it will actually turn out that way. Most years, our other activities in the general fund are under their budget, and we expect we'll be able to offset some of this. But we really, at the end of the year, don't want to officially take money from one budget and put it into another. That doesn't seem quite appropriate. And then a lot of times, too, our revenues actually come in higher than expected. So even though it appears we're eating into the fund balance by $81,600, we don't really think that will occur.
Thanks, Nancy.
That's been typical the last few years, right?
Yes, we've done this pretty much every year, and the last, for as long as I can remember, we've always come out a little better than we thought we'd be.
Anyone else, council? All right, this is a roll call vote, beginning with Scott.
Aye.
And Phil.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
And Osama.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item E, presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution accepting completed work for the Rehabilitate Runway Lighting Project at the Municipal Airport and authorizing final payment. In September 2011, City Council awarded the contract for this project to Kimmery Electric of Urbandale, Iowa, in the amount of $325,005.30. The project engineer has notified the city that the project has been completed and is ready for final acceptance by the city. It is staff's recommendation that City Council take action to accept the final work and to authorize final payment to the contractor. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
That would be Osama, and a second?
Aye.
Second, Tom. Any discussion, council? Roll call vote, beginning with Osama.
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
And Bob?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item F, and am I correct in assuming, Fran, the council does not have a copy of this, or they do?
You're supposed to read, you need to read.
And I will do that, but, okay, I'll just move forward. Item F, presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing on an urban renewal plan amendment. The city has received a request for the potential tax rebate proposal designed to assist the owner and/or developer with construction of new industrial facilities in the consolidated urban renewal area. Prior to consideration of a development agreement, the city must schedule a consultation with other taxing authorities to provide for a public hearing on a proposed amendment to the adopted urban renewal plan. This public hearing will be held on Thursday, June 20th, 2013 at 7 p.m. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
I heard Phil right away. And Tom, I think I heard you in there too. Any discussion, council? Roll call vote, beginning with Phil.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Osama.
Aye.
And Scott.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item G, presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving the operation and maintenance manual for the Mad Creek Levee Improvement Project. With the recent completion of the project, the city has requested to accept and approve the manual for this project. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
That would be Jeanette. Second.
Second.
Second, Scott. Any discussion, council? Also a roll call, beginning with Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
And Tom?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item H, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution authorizing smoking rule changes for public housing. The matter was reviewed with city council at the May in-depth meeting. It is staff's recommendation that city council, acting as the Muscatine Municipal Housing Agency Board of Commissioners, adopt the resolution allowing the MMHA to amend smoking guidelines for the public housing. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Tom, and a second?
Second.
Second, Scott. Any discussion, council?
Yeah, I'd like to offer an amendment, I suppose, and what it is, I had circulated an email earlier this week that proposed a language change to those rules in an attempt to bring some clarity for the residents. So I would like to submit those changes in the form of an amendment. Do you need me to read that into the record, or how does this work?
Yeah, would you, Tom?
Sure. Okay with you, Dick? Okay. That's fine, okay. There's a section in the rules where there were two itemized issues, and this is meant to replace those two itemized issues. So number one, tenants that presently smoke in their apartments as of May 3, 2013 will be allowed to do so for 1 year beginning July 1, 2013 and ending June 30, 2014, subject to the following terms and conditions. Item A, tenants agree to pursue a smoking discontinuation plan with a medical professional or through other qualified assistance such as New Horizons. B, tenants will provide to housing staff periodic status reports no less than quarterly, effectively documenting their participation and progress in a qualified smoking cessation program. Item 2, residents that have tenancy and are in good standing under the terms and conditions of their lease agreement as of May 3, 2013 are not subject to revocation of their lease solely for violating these smoking guidelines. Item 3, after June 30, 2014, smoking will be permitted only in designated areas. And item 4, after June 30, 2014, qualified tenants, those who identified themselves as smokers effective May 3, 2013, will be permitted to smoke e-cigarettes or like devices in their apartments. And again, that is intended to replace the two itemized issues that were in the policy.
Tom?
Dick, would you care to respond to this part of the discussion?
Well, as you know, the recommendations came from the committee, and I know that we've reviewed this quite thoroughly in more than one meeting. I did see what Tom had sent earlier, and we talked about it as a staff, and we felt that that was acceptable. I canvassed the committee, and they felt that they were comfortable with that too. You know, the main intent is to create of course, a smoke-free environment, but we realize that we may have to do that through attrition. And we do care about our residents, whether they're smokers or non-smokers, but we also realize that smoking has a lot of issues, and especially it has issues with the young people at Sunset Park, and that now is a good time to act, we believe, on making some rule changes, not just for now, but for the future. So we're comfortable with what Tom had read into the record.
Okay. Anyone else, council?
Tom?
I'm looking for, Mark, I think via email you had some suggestions here too.
Well, I talked to Dick about the second one, and I'm okay without that one, but I would ask Tom to strike the first item in the amendment with regards to the condition being they must enter into a cessation program. I just don't think it's appropriate to require any type of medical or program. I think the fact that we're giving them a year to prepare for this, and they may prepare however they choose, but it's coming.
Tom?
I certainly understand. I'm amenable to that. I was trying to bring clarity to what had already been written, but I have no problem with that.
Okay. Fran, do you have the amendment in full?
I will have to get that information, written information from Tom so that I can put it into the minutes.
Read this copy down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay,
for,
Osama.
Yeah.
And this was HUD recommendation, but it's not
It's not mandated.
It's not
a
mandated,
federal
but it was
mandate.
recommended by HUD. Is
Yes,
that
it's
correct?
strongly recommended. We've gotten a couple different letters of guidance on that.
Do you foresee this to be mandated down the road from HUD?
Yeah,
I know this.
yeah, it will be, but I think being proactive will really serve us well down the road with HUD also.
Mayor, I have a question.
Okay.
What's the turnover rate at Sunset and at Clark House?
Sunset is a little over 30%, and the Clark House, I'm going to say between 20 and 23%.
So it's considerably lower.
Yes.
I just want to go on record. I'm not against people smoking or not smoking. Public places, I think it's, if there's a smoking ban in restaurants, I think it needs to be honored. I'm not a smoker. Used to be. Family members have been. Some are, some aren't. But public places is different than a apartment or house that you rent. And I think it's the right of that tenant to stay there and smoke if they want to smoke until they, through attrition, for some reason, they leave, then they could, then obviously any new people coming into the agency would be non-smokers. So if you wanted to alter it to where it's basically anybody that's identified as a smoker, we would encourage them to quit. We would also grandfather those smokers until they leave the premises. But any new smoker or new people coming in, they need to be non-smokers. I don't see that flying with council. So I know I'm going to be on the outside of this one probably, but that's my feeling. And I think the changes that you're looking at, the clarifications, are good. I think there was some confusion. We had 5 or 6 residents here 2 weeks ago that had some questions. I think they had their questions answered, but clarification is good, but it doesn't go far enough for me for individual rights. Thank you.
Another question.
Osama?
Despite what amendment we're doing this to the proposed policy, when HUD mandate this, we have to follow their policy and we can scratch everything in here. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's what I would believe would be correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
Just for
Counsel?
clarification on Tom's amendment and the requested change to that, then after a year, those people will be, it'll be discussed, but it's not a
Enforceable.
reason for eviction
Right.
or whatever.
Right,
Is that correct?
right.
But yet, at least to me, it's a plan here, it's a strategy to get where we want to get, so.
Well, we've seen quite a little bit of an impact already. There's been a number of residents that have already started to stop smoking or have sought help with their smoking. And Courtney just mentioned to me earlier before we started that, well, if it doesn't pass, what are all those folks going to do now? They're going to get so confused. But you know, we think it's a very positive thing. We really want to, you know, whatever the council wants to do, if we can get something in there that we can move forward with the residents that are moving in that are non-smokers, we think that's the best thing for the future of ours. There's no apartment complexes really being built today that are rental that allow smoking. And a landlord does have the right to choose to have a rule whether or not they'll allow smoking in their unit or not, and then that's not a violation of federal or state law. So.
But it's established prior to renting. That's if you were talking only new residents, I don't have a problem with it. But when you have someone that is a current resident, and now all of a sudden you've changed the rules on the rental, that I have a problem with.
All I can say to that is that we have a month-to-month lease with most residents, and when a resident moves in initially, they have a year lease. And so we do have the option after that year to, the council has the option after that year to adjust any policies or any rules that they see fit.
But I would agree that if HUD comes down and says, thou shalt be non-smoking, or we're yanking every cent, better quit, people, because we're not going to lose the money. But money's not in danger at this point. So
I guess I don't comment very often, but a part of this conversation should also include, you have 2 smoking areas at the Clark House. Is that accurate, Dick?
There's 3.
We'll have.
There'll be 3 designated, yes.
Okay. The distasteful sight of cigarette butts either on the sidewalk or in planters that are not certainly ashtrays or whatever, I just think that should be policed by whomever is in charge at the Clark House, or it'd be nice if the smoking residents would do that themselves, but sometimes it's just too handy to...
In the rule change, the location is away from the entrance of the Clark House, so the 2 locations that are on the grounds. So there wouldn't be the tendency to throw the cigarette butt right at the entrance. However, historically, for all multifamily buildings such as the Clark House, you always have that issue, and that's like a daily, you're correct, maintenance kind of issue that needs to be addressed consistently. Sure. I mean, you have visitors that, we've seen it, we all seen it, just throw cigarette butts wherever they want to.
Well, and it adds to the cost to upkeep the building, too.
Yes. But that will help that some, alleviate some of that trash.
Very good.
Your Honor, do you have a lady back here that wants to talk?
Well, and as a matter of procedure, Jeanette, I'll get to that. Anyone else, counsel, questions for Dick? Okay, thank you, Dick.
Thank you.
Roger, I can give you 3 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Tell our viewers and those in council chambers who you are and where you live.
I'm Roger Roth, live at the Clark House. The question of allowing people to smoke after the deadline is unconstitutional. The 7th Amendment of the Constitution is 4.2 of the Iowa law and the common law rule of construction. The federal courts adhere to this religiously when they hear common law as being a part of the case. We cannot have a double standard. Common law never has a double standard law where one can do something and the other one cannot. You allow them to smoke just by people I've talked to that have been smokers for a long time and quit. They can still smoke long after they have quit. One says, if I was to walk into a house where some non-smokers have just bought the property and someone else has been smoking, they can smell the smoke. That would cause the new owners to ask the realtor why he isn't out of the building. Therefore, why do they need this excuse to say, I need to smoke longer in my room? It's also a hazard to those of us who are non-smokers. I had a non-smoker stay over one night because she couldn't get home. She said, I smell smoke. That third-hand smoke goes everywhere. I don't want to be wheezing and sneezing and tearing because someone's smoking so heavy it's coming through my registers. In other words, they're violating my rights. They're violating the rights of those small dogs and cats in there. One of them recently had to take their dog to the vet because it wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. Could have been the cigarette smoke, possible. People have toddlers and infants coming in. The Boston Pediatrics Hospital in '66 found out they were getting adult cigarette ailments, including SIDS, because of cigarette smoke in the house. We don't want those kids to be suing the city for this. When you have a law that says there is no smoking, it's no smoking for everyone. That's what the common law protects everyone from, playing double standards. You don't want to say to one person, you can commit a crime all you want, but you over there can't commit the same crime. Common law standards has to stand. The state law demands it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Roger. Appreciate it. Okay, we have an amendment on the floor right now by Tom.
Mayor,
I think there's
you know, Phil, are
clarification.
you offering an amendment?
At this point, probably not, because I'm probably going to be the lone vote. So,
Are we entering the amendment without number one, or am I moving to amend the amendment?
I think you're moving to amend the amendment.
Okay.
you could do that by a friendly amendment.
We'll take a friendly
Eliminate
amendment.
a whole-
Okay, that's fine. I'll take the friendly amendment from Mark.
Okay.
Okay, to clarify this, if you're in agreement with Mark's amendment to your amendment,
Right.
friendly amendment would rule then. So, the amendment is in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
I'll second that.
Second, Jeanette. And we've had plenty of discussion, so this is a roll call vote, beginning with Tom.
Excuse me, Mayor, would
On the
you
amendment.
explain it one more time to me, please?
Why don't I read what survives?
Okay.
And this replaces those two items in the
Correct.
housing policy.
Item 1 and 2.
So the new item 1 will be, residents that have a tenancy and are in good standing under the terms and conditions of their lease agreement as of May 3, 2013, are not subject to the revocation of their lease solely for violating these smoking guidelines. 2, after June 30, 2014, smoking will only be permitted in designated areas. And item 3, after June 30, 2014, qualified tenants, those who identified themselves as smokers effective May 3, 2013, will be permitted to smoke e-cigarettes or like devices in their apartments.
Okay.
Okay, council, are we clear?
And we're going to vote on the motion, or the
amendment.
The amendment.
On the amendment right now. Tom's the motion and Jeanette's the second, and we'll begin with Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
And Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Nay.
And Mark.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Amendment.
Was did you say?
Nay, you got
Nay.
a six.
Okay, 6-1. Okay, now, for the resolution, and I will read this again. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution authorizing smoking rule changes for public housing. The matter was reviewed by the City Council at the May in-depth meeting. It is staff's recommendation that City Council, acting as the Muscatine Municipal Housing Agency Board of Commissioners, adopt the resolution allowing the MMHA to amend smoking guidelines for public housing, and we did have a motion to adopt the resolution by Tom and a second by Scott, and we've had plenty of discussion, so on with the roll call vote, beginning with Tom.
Aye.
And Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
And Mark.
Aye.
6-1 again. Okay, item I. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution to write off certain debts of former public housing tenants. Every effort is made to collect rental payments and other monies owed to the Muscatine Municipal Housing Agency. For accounting purposes, the city is directed to write off debts that are doubtful for collection. Records of these amounts will be maintained, and they will be required to be paid back by these individuals before any future housing assistance would be available to them. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So move, Your Honor.
That would be Bob.
Second.
Second, Scott. Any discussion, council? Roll call, beginning with Bob.
Aye.
Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
And Mark.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
And Jeanette.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Okay, item J, presented for City Council's consideration is a revised resolution accepting easements and property acquisitions for the 2013 Colorado Street Reconstruction Project. In order to begin the construction phase, temporary and permanent easements and other property acquisitions from 21 property owners must be acquired by the city. Negotiations to complete the easements have been conducted or continue to be conducted with those property owners. All property transfer documents have been signed and delivered with the exception of the come-and-go property, which company officials have verbally agreed will be donated. City staff requests this transfer be approved with the condition that it is being donated. A revised resolution is attached, which is what we just read. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So move.
Mark?
Second, Your Honor.
Scott? Discussion, council.
Phil second.
Pardon?
Phil. Second.
Scott did
Phil,
also.
okay. Thank you, Osama.
So who made the second?
Scott. Mayor called it.
Okay.
He's in the place of position.
Sometimes I just shouldn't listen to the council member to my right. But he's a nice guy anyway.
Thank you.
Anyway, the second by, motion by Mark, second by Scott. Discussion, council, none?
Scott second that.
I have
You
that
got it?
right here.
All right.
Thank you.
Just
A roll call vote beginning with Mark.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
And Phil.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item K, presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution of support for the Blue Zones Community Policy Pledge Actions. Blue Zone Community Program Manager Joni Axel gave a presentation at the May in-depth meeting on the efforts currently underway to improve the well-being of the community. As a part of the presentation, she requested City Council adopt a resolution of support outlining the Blue Zones Community Policy Pledge Actions. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
That would be Bob, second.
Second.
Tom. Discussion, council. No questions for Joni.
I do have one question for Joni. Joni, when's your next meeting? Is it June
Fourth?
4th? 4 to 6 p.m. at the school board, the old school board office?
Joni Axel, 208 West 2nd Street. Yes, Bob, the next meeting is June 4th, and it is a open house community input meeting for the Blue Zones project for all of the community from 4 to 6 at the administration building out on Mulberry. There are meetings going on all the time. That's why I looked rather stunned, because it's a matter of sort of which day. But we do have, that is a big community input meeting, which we would welcome all Muscatine residents to attend. You'll not only have a lot of information sharing, but also be able to raise your hand with interest in certain areas. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you, Joni.
Joni, I have a question for you. It went away here. Well, the question didn't.
Your screen did.
The screen quit. It's off now. It's, part of this is talking about designing of complete streets. Do you want to define complete street?
Complete Streets is a program, Phil, and so if you have a complete street, it has gone through a filter, and I might even have to ask Randy or Steve or someone to kind of backfill on that, but it is there are specifications in the country that allow a street construction to be a complete street, which then I think has a vision for accommodating all users, and that's kind of the big 30,000-foot description. All users being more than just cars. Randy, am I on target there?
Right on with the Joni.
Pedestrian right-of-ways and
Exactly,
handicap
exactly.
ADA requirements are met and all that.
And it also is sort of taking into consideration where the street is, what it's supposed to do, if it's in the middle of the city or if it's an arterial sort of thing.
Okay.
So that is my understanding.
And I would add to that we have been designing Cedar Street, Colorado Street, as complete streets as the right-of-way allows us to do so. And if you'll remember the presentation by Snyder on the 3861 connector, that was designed, the concept as a complete street also. So
Okay.
we're definitely trying to design our streets that way.
We're on board already. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni. Okay, this is a roll call vote, folks, beginning with Bob.
Aye.
And Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
And Jeanette.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item L, presented for City Council's consideration, is a request to authorize the issuance of a purchase order for demolition of the Pierce Mattress Store. The city purchased the mattress store in 2012 to accommodate the new road alignment for the Colorado Street reconstruction project. Two contractors submitted quotes for the demolition of the building only, with the floor slab left in place. The low quote was from Salzburger Excavating in the amount of $15,000. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Scott, in a second.
Second.
Second, Jeanette. Any discussion, council?
Why would we leave the floor in place? Just for erosion until the project?
Actually, to allow parking for the Pierce customers before the construction work actually begins.
Okay, okay.
Any other questions, council? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. And it is now time for communications from council members, beginning with Councilman Lorette.
Thank you, Mayor. That was a nice little presentation we had to start the meeting from the, was that West Middle School, seventh graders?
West Middle School.
And my oldest son is a competitive ice skater, so I may have to give Kyle a call. Thank you.
Very good. Phil?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Scott?
I have nothing, thank you.
Osama?
I have nothing, thank you.
Bob?
Mayor, I'd like to direct it to Mr. Hill. How's the flood condition of the Mississippi? Is it going down fast? Is it slow? What's your kind of predictions?
My prediction? Right now, the water's high, but it's not a threat, and I'm not aware of any forecasts that we will see a spike, a second spike in the river. We keep in touch pretty close with the businesses and with the Corps on this, and the moment that we hear something, then we will mobilize and be ready for it. But up to this point, Bob, I have not heard anything.
Thank you.
Jeanette?
I have nothing, thank you.
Councilman Tong?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
And Randy?
Nothing.
Fran?
No, sir, thank you.
Well, I would say, in fact, I would like to congratulate and recognize Saturday is Armed Forces Day. All those that have served are currently serving in the United States Army, United States Air Force, United States Navy, or the United States Marine Corps. Thank you, every one of you, for what you do. So, any other business, council? Is there a motion to adjourn? Osama, meeting is adjourned.